Now then, I make a little statement here at the beginning. When I'm presenting a lesson on a specific topic, it can be relatively easy for most of the participants to be able to guess what's the right thing to do. But what happens at the table is that you can have any and all kinds of hands pop up without having a clue at all about what might be involved in bidding them accurately. So this is a set of 6 or so questions about different bidding situations that have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Some of them I think most of you will find to be ridiculously easy, but some of them may not be. So what do you think? You're sitting south in each one of these hands. This is your hand. Your left-hand opponent opened a club, your partner doubled, and your right-hand opponent bid 1 heart. Do you have to bid? You do not, do you?
No.
East has bid, so you're off the hook. So what do you think? Do you bid or not?
I would bid my 4-card major 1 time.
Sure.
1 spade.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When your partner has doubled for take and there's no intervening bid, then you absolutely have to bid. No matter if you have 0 points, you have to bid your longest suit and cross your fingers and hope the opponent's bid. But when you have 6, 7, or 8 points, in other words, the top end of that 0 to 8 point range, you need to consider that takeout double as being similar to the situation when your partner opens and you're holding 6 points. If I held this hand and my partner had opened 1 club or 1 diamond, I would respond 1 spade and not be ashamed of that spade suit at all, would I? So when my partner doubles, he's shown close to an opening hand, same sort of situation, and asked me to bid my best suit. So even when there's been an intervening bid, if I have 6, 7, or 8 points, at least, of course, if I have 9, I'm going to jump a level. But if I have 6, 7, or 8, then I'm going to respond in my best suit. Simply because it looks to me like here that East and West have about half the points and North and South have about half the points. If my partner has 4 spades with me, then we have God's suit. We have the top dog here, and we should be able to buy the auction, or at least be very competitive. We can force the opponents to the 3 level if they really want to play the hand. So if I'm sitting there holding this hand, I'm bidding 1 spade, and I hope everybody else will too. You can say, oh, there's been an intervening bid, I don't have to bid, and you're absolutely right. But I would take the opportunity to bid because I like to look for excuses to bid, not excuses to pass. Now, do not think that doubling here shows 4 spades. It doesn't. Why doesn't it? Because that double would be responsive. It would show the minor suits, not 4 cards in the other major. That would be a negative double, and that is responder's double. You are not the responder, you are the advancer. So double here does not show 4 spades. And when you bid, you promise only 4 spades. Patty, do you have a question?
Well, I think you may have answered it. I kind of thought when somebody doubled after a 1 club opening, they're telling you that they've got 4 and 4 in the majors.
Well, ideally they would, but they might have 4 diamonds, 4 spades, and 3 hearts, and 2 clubs, right? Hopefully they do 4 before 1.
The guideline I always go by is 4 and 4 in the majors. You know, 4 and 4 in the majors on the 1 level.
If that works for you, then stick with it. I will accept 3 cards in one of the majors. simply because I don't wait around for the perfect hand.
Okay, well, maybe I
Okay.
need to change what I do.
Well,
Okay.
if what you do works for you, then keep doing that.
Well, it doesn't always.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Yes. Okay. So the answer here is one spade, not double. If you pass, well, you certainly can pass, but you've missed an opportunity maybe to buy the contract and perhaps make it. Or maybe you go down a trick in two spades when East and West are making two hearts or two clubs or something. Well, you've still come out ahead. So it is definitely worth it when you have 6, 7, or 8 points, even with the intervening bid, to go ahead and tell partner, hey, I do have a little something over here and it's in spades. Okay. If North, your partner, opens with a weak 2-heart bid, East passes and you hold this hand, what are you going to do?
Two spades.
I would pass.
Why are you passing, Roy?
You got support
Well, you
in
don't
the other
really.
suits.
You don't have only one heart, but you know.
Right, but you got 2 diamonds and a spade trick. You don't know if he has any spades to help you. And you don't know if his spade trick is
that's
his
exactly
spade
right.
suit is better than his heart.
What is the important thing to remember here? The important thing to remember is that 2 spades might well be your best contract, but you can't play 2 spades. Why can you not play 2 spades? 2 spades is forcing here. You don't know that you're not jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. What if partner, I mean, he shouldn't open 2 hearts with a void and an outside suit, but maybe he did. You know, every now and again, partners go off the reservation. And it may be that he has 3 small spades and your best contract is 2 spades. The problem is you cannot play 2 spades because the 2 spade bid is forcing. When you don't have the kind of hand that can force your preempting partner to the 3 level, even if you're void, you just have to put down the green card. Partner got himself into this hole and he's going to have to get himself out. Remember, no ambulance drivers at the table. Do not try to rescue your partner. If you keep digging on a hand that's a misfit, you're just making the hole deeper. That's all you're doing. So the correct answer here is pass.
Susan and Rhonda Monroe
Yes.
have a question.
Go right ahead, Scott.
Yes, remind me again why you don't preempt with a void, please.
Well, because if you have a 6-card suit and you have a void in another one, that means you have at least one other suit that has at least 4 or 5 cards in it. And when you preempt, you're telling your partner, this is the suit that has to be trumps if we play this hand. If you have an outside 4 or 5 card suit, that's not the case, is it? It also misstates the playing strength of your hand. If I had, say, 10 points and a 6-card heart suit with a void in it, I'd open at 1 heart if I were going to bid at all, rather than 2 hearts. Simply because when you bid 2 hearts with a void in your hand, your hand has more playing strength in it than that bid would indicate. Yes, Janet.
Okay, looking at this example, if I had my partner preempts 2 hearts, what if I have ace, king, queen, jack, 6?
Well, that's a horse of a different color. Now you have a self-sufficient suit. You only have 11 points here.
Yeah, but what if I only have 10 in a singleton heart and my partner preempts the hearts and I've got a sufficient spade suit? I know my spade suit's better than.
So in other words, what you're saying is you have ace, king, queen, jack, 6 in spades, and you don't have the king, queen, jack of diamonds. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, with a self-sufficient suit, then I would feel better about bidding 2 spades.
Just remember,
But
it is forcing.
yes,
It
absolutely.
is forcing. Now, having said that, if you and your partner have different partnership agreements and alert it as non-forcing, that's fine. But if it goes 2 hearts, 2 spades, pass, expect the director to chat with you.
And if your partner denies spades by bidding 3 hearts, you have just ratcheted the contract up 1 level as well.
Okay.
Don, when the director comes in, is he going to penalize them if you bring it to his attention?
Well,
Or is he just going to talk to him?
what would happen at a tournament would be that when it got passed, you'd hope that the person on the left of the one that made the forcing bid would call the director then.
Yeah.
And so what I would do would be to take that person a step away from the table and say, had this bid been alerted as non-forcing, would you have taken any action other than passing? And if the person says, yes, if I'd known it was non-forcing, then I'd have bid 3 diamonds or 4 clubs or whatever. Then I have to consider that. So the rule is if there's damage, then I have to do an adjusted result. And the only way I know to find out if there's damage is I have to take that person away from the table who may or may not have bid had he known it was non-forcing. So as a rule, in a perfect world, the director says, you were damaged or you weren't damaged. If you're not damaged, then we would let the result stand and probably chat. We do this more in our novice games as training than as punitive action. We try to, the important part for you guys now is to understand that when you really have that hand that you need 2 spades over 2 hearts to be forcing, that both you and your partner know it's forcing so that you can get to the right contract. Again, it's the biggest part of this game, I think, in bidding is figuring out what bids are forcing and what aren't so that you can manage your auction. Probably said too much.
No, perfect.
So essentially, if we're east-west here and they pass something that's forcing, the first thing is you call the director. And then you say, yes, I was damaged. I would have bid if I'd known he was going to pass.
Yeah, again, away from the table. You don't want to say that in such a way that you provided unauthorized information to your partner.
Yeah.
And frankly, even if you don't call the director there, if you call the director completely after the hand's over and you have a compelling argument that, boy, I was going to bid 3 clubs if I'd known this was forcing, and I've got to listen to that and look at whether had you bid 3 clubs, you'd have got a better result than letting them play 2 spades. Remember, the person on the other side of the north, in this case, the heart bidder, he already knows it's non-forcing because the person that I have to deal with is the left-hand opponent of the person who made what should have been a forcing bid and wasn't. Did that person have an action, or would he have taken an action had he known it was a non-forcing bid? That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
I have a concrete example of that. One day I was playing at the club with somebody who has close to 4,000 points. Opened a week 2 diamonds. I had a huge hand with 6 self-sufficient spades. I bid 2 spades, forcing bid, and my partner passed. As it happens, I was astonished. I thought that anybody at that level would know that my bid was forcing. And you have to have a forcing bid in that situation when you have a big hand. If you don't, then you just have to jump to whatever you think you can make. And that's certainly less than ideal. So remember that it's not, you don't want to bid a new suit when your partner has preempted. When you have a common garden variety hand like the one I show here, you have to have a really good hand with a suit that's at least as good as what you think your partner has or better before you
or an intent to go back to partner suit.
Yes, one of the 2. So let's see how quickly we can get through these here. Partner and opens 2 clubs, south bids 2 diamonds, of course, looking at this lovely hand, and your partner rebids 2 hearts. What do you bid?
4 hearts.
Anybody else have another thought? Why 4 hearts and not 3 hearts?
partner's promising 21 or 22 points and you've got the queen of his suit.
Well, that's still not 26, right?
I think North is promising you a really long heart suit and you should have all kinds of easy tricks there.
Well, what you have for your partner, assuming that he has, since this is a suit, he has 8.5 or 9 playing tricks. Do you have a trick for your partner? Certainly the Queen of Trumps is a good card, isn't it?
Yes.
And you have shortness in the club suit. If partner has a club loser and at least 3 of them, then he has the potential to rough out a club loser. But we bid 4 hearts rather than 3 hearts because in a 2 club auction, 3 hearts shows slam interest, invites partner to show a control, or says, I have 8 or more points and I'm kind of interested. Is there a possibility that we could have a slam? 4 hearts is intended as a sign off here in a 2 club auction. You definitely don't have slam interest here unless your partner's sitting on 30 points. In that case, he might have bid 3 hearts instead of 2 hearts. All right. You're Sal. You open 1 spade. Next person passes and your partner bids 2 hearts. What is your call here? And this is playing 2 over 1.
3 hearts.
4 hearts.
Why might you bid 3 hearts rather than 4 hearts with this hand?
You have more room to explore what you're going to do.
Well, and those of you who took the Beyond Beginning Bridge using 2 over 1 first session last spring, remember, this is a 13-point hand with 1 dummy point. In a heart contract, this hand is going to be the dummy. So he can add 1 point for the club doubleton. Look at the prime values in this hand. All aces and kings. The spot cards are fabulous. If you're just saying, oh, well, I have 13 points and that's it, we only have game, 4 hearts, bang. I'm bidding 3 hearts because if you remember from that lesson of slow arrival, fast arrival, when the opener has 14 or more points in his hand, then he can show interest. And this hand, even though it's only 13, prime values, 10s, 9s, and 8s, I'm going to at least give my partner the opportunity. If my partner has 15 or 16 points, then we may well have a slam if they're the right 15 or 16 points, but we need to find out. And for that, we need room. So 3 hearts is the call I make here, playing 2 over 1 and utilizing the principle of slow arrival, fast arrival. Now, here's one that everybody should get. Your partner opens 1 no trump and you're holding this thing in beauty. What are you going to do?
2 hearts.
You betcha. Transfer to spades and drop, right? Okay. Now, here's another one. Your partner opens a diamond, you bid a spade, and partner bids 4 spades. What do you do now?
Or no trump.
Why are you bidding 4 no trump, Deborah?
Well, because your partner really likes your suit, and you may have with your kings, if he has any key cards.
What's he told you when he jumps directly to 4 spades? What kind of hand does he have? He has enough for game opposite 6 points, doesn't he? All you have promised him is 6 points and 4 spades. And he says, fine with me, let's play game in spades. Well, you have considerably more than 6 points, don't you? You have 13 and a singleton. That means that we have a strong possibility of 6 spades here. And why would I bid 4 no trump instead of just bidding 6 spades here?
Because if he only has 1 key card, you want to play it at 5 spades.
Well, it's hard to imagine that he would have only 1 key card if he has shown the 19 to 21 point hand. But that doesn't mean that a lot of his values are not in hearts, right? And those values are wasted. Those values are wasted. So 6 spades wouldn't be horrible. But when you're looking at something like this, you need to consult your partner. This is a partnership game. And so I would consult my partner before I just hauled off and bid 6 spades. Maybe he really aggressively reevaluated his hand to get to 4 spades. That's been known to happen. I do it occasionally myself. So if it happens that we're off 2 cashing aces, I don't want to be in 6. Or if he has the absolutely perfect hand and I can count 13 tricks, I want to be in 7, or maybe even 7 no trump. He may have a ratty hand, or he may have the perfect hand. Odds don't favor either one of those, which means that 6 spades might be a reasonable call, but it is an inferior call. 4 no trump works better in this situation. I'm done.
Hi, this is Susan. Thanks for stopping by the Oklahoma Collective's YouTube channel. Basically, this channel shows recordings of our free 1-hour bridge lessons for advancing players that we offer every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. If you would like to join us, send your contact information to the email address shown on the screen, and we'll be happy to send you the link. If you would like to follow our channel and be notified when a new recording is uploaded, just click the Oklahoma Collective button below. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.